The moment the graviton burst sent my ship spiraling into the heart of the Trisferan black. My chest tightened, crystallizing my impending doom. I gripped the control panel, knuckles pale, as my eyes darted frantically across the console, desperately parsing through the blaring alarms. I was thrust into chaos, and every alarm was a reminder that humanity had stretched too far, that we were not meant to command the void. "Come on, Ada, stay with me," I shouted, feeling the ship's AI resonate against my skin, a comforting yet haunting presence in the void. Threads of silvery data streamed across my visor, desperately trying to recalibrate trajectory while the bond between us crackled like static electricity. What are the chances of a hull breach? Probability at 89% with current structural integrity. Increasing thruster output to redline, her voice faltered momentarily, a tremor that matched the thrumming of the ship. "If we don't get out now, we'll be light years away from help." As if the cosmos itself had overheard our plight, the ship jolted violently to the left. I barely had time to brace myself before the vessel was swallowed whole by a tidal wave of blackness, the edges of reality folding in on themselves. I pounded at the console, my breath hot and ragged. The Trisferan black was supposed to be just a cosmic anomaly, a forgotten relic, but it was alive and thrumming with something ancient and angry. A flicker of blue light danced into existence on my comms. "This is the Arcturus fleet. All ships in the vicinity. Return to baseline orbit at once." "We can't risk another. Damn it, no," I barked, cutting off the transmission. It was my brother's voice on the other end, the same brother who championed our descent into the breach almost 3 years ago. Max had insisted we push past the limits of human exploration, that the cosmos could be conquered, tamed. It was like he was looking into a volatile star and promising warmth when all he had ever found was radiation. Suddenly, lights began to pulse rapidly on the display. Condition yellow. "Ada, can you bypass the thruster controls?" I asked, pulse racing as I marshaled what remained of my focus. Accessing, her circuits buzzed, isolating the systems one by one, and the familiar hum of anxiety coursed through our connection. "I can reroute power, but if we override the safety locks, risks will go up exponentially." I hesitated, glancing at the sleek, soft contours of the cockpit and the readings that stacked against us. "Ada, we either fight our way out or get crushed in the weightlessness of the void. I won't let this be how it ends." A beat, understood. In that instant, the ship resonated with determination, the unyielding spirit of countless lives that came before us. I slammed my hand on the control panel, and with one final command, the ship surged forward, breaking into the scintillating edge of the anomaly. But as we burst through the threshold, I knew the real battle was only beginning. An explosion of bright colors coalesced around us, a maelstrom of heat and energy, swirling in an unpredictable dance. I gripped the panel tighter, sweat trickling down my brow as the ship shuddered violently, rounded edges igniting into fire. "A divergence at point 002, Ada warned, her voice blaring with urgency. "We'll be caught in gravitational turbulence if we don't recalibrate." But recalibrate for what? I felt every muscle tremble with the weight of decisions, haunted by the specter of my brother's choices. Max had dragged me to the furthest reaches of space through his obsession with power and conquest, but I had to decide. Would I embrace the same madness, or would I break free from the curse that trailed behind him like an echo? In the heart of chaos, I recalled the imminent wave of memories, growing up listening to his wild laughter, the glimmer of hope in his eyes when he spoke of what lay beyond, the warmth of sibling love twisted into rivalry. I wanted to claw back the days when we didn't see the universe as ours for the taking, but the gravity of expectation loomed larger than the invisible hand gripping the ship. "Rerouting power now," I yelled, channeling Ada's energy through my fingertips. A flicker of hope ignited within me. The cosmic dance was painted with dangers, true, but we were riders of the stars in this moment. There was no time to waste as I focused on the next move. I opened my mind to the elements around us. Would I steer into the unknown, or would I succumb to fear? The howls of cosmic winds wrapped around us, whispering sweet seductions and warnings with each flicker and tremor. It all hinged on a decision. Would we become mere cogs in a greater machine or climb to become its masters? Prepare for atmospheric entry. I screamed, teeth gritted. The ship shuddered, and together Ada and I faced the infiniteness of the cosmos, the untamed void beckoning us like an enchantress. And in that split second, I knew we weren't just fighting to escape, we were fighting for our right to claim this universe, or lay broken and charred on its threshold. As the ship hurtled through the maelstrom, pastels of blue and gold fractured the darkness, twisting in elaborate patterns until the world outside fell away. The intensity of the turbulence pressed me back against the seat, but a profound sense of resolve washed over me. I was more than a rogue pilot lost in the cosmic seas. I was an agent of change, a force against the dominance of fear and chaos. Approaching potential stabilization point. Activating plasma shields, Ada warned, her voice unyielding despite the tension thrumming through the ship. I glanced down at the flickering readouts, each pulse reminding me of how close we were to obliteration. In one wild moment, everything seemed to be aligning perfectly, our fates entwined like threads woven into the same fabric of existence. With a jolt, the turbulence stilled. The ship's hull sizzled as heat rebuffed against the cold vacuum, and relief washed over me. In those precious moments of clarity, I grinned wildly and let out a breath I hadn't realized I was holding. We made it. Before I could finish, the ship broke free into the grandeur of the beyond, a silver expanse speckled with swirling nebulas that hummed their timeless songs. But tranquility was short-lived. An alarm blared, and my heart sank. A contact, multiple unidentified ships at optimal intercept trajectory. Ada exclaimed, the vibrant chart of the cosmos now dotted with ominous shapes, their silhouettes dark against the radiant stars. They approached like shadows gathering in a storm. Are they with the Arcturus fleet? I asked, every inch of my survival instinct screaming that these crafts were not allies. In negative. Design patterns do not correlate with known Arcturus vessels. Engaging evasive maneuvers, she initiated a zigzagging flight pattern, but an eerie sensation of déjà vu yanked at my gut. It felt as though the universe conspired against us, a reminder that every choice bore consequences. As we darted through the thrumming expanse, one ship broke formation and locked on, flickering blue light piercing the void with menacing intent. Shields at 50%, high-energy impact imminent. Ada's urgency escalated the tension, and I raced through my options, ignited by adrenaline. Suddenly, a crackle blasted over my comms, slicing through the chaos. This is Captain Ryden of the Vanguard, an autonomous reconnaissance unit. Halt your ship immediately. I felt my teeth grind against each other. The Vanguard, they were notorious for pursuing ships that wandered too deep into unexplored territories. Out here, they operated with ruthless authority, crushing anyone who defied their mandates. My brother had spoken of them in whispered tones, claiming they would rather burn ships than allow loose threads in their tightly knit weave. Do they respond to reason? I asked, heart pounding. Tolerance levels indicate unwillingness to negotiate. Mandatory course correction in 5-4-3. The countdown rolled through the ship, and I felt the weight settle on my shoulders. Max had pushed for progress, claimed that each danger was simply another opportunity to seize. I couldn't allow his ambition to descend into reckless endangerment. Ram, their hull disrupt their sensors. I commanded, and Ada executed the reckless maneuvers with precision, diverting reserves from life support to shields. Energy crackled around us as we veered sharply, edging closer to the Vanguard ship. The intensity sparked in my veins as I realized I was channeling every lesson Max had ever taught me. Their crushing sensibility, their delight in bravado. But there was something different within me. I had a deeper bond within these fierce choices, history pushing me forward while an understanding of consequence pulled me back. We collided with the Vanguard vessel, and the ship jolted violently. We barreled through tight corridors of machinery, rattling bolts and warnings screeching into the air. I could feel my heart race with every thud of the ship's hull against theirs, raw and unsteady. I cut the thrusters as we skimmed the interior, but caution was a luxury I could not afford. With internal systems compromised, Ada stated unflinching, as always. Initiating emergency divert to offload power. I'll take the helm. I shot back, veering the ship through the cramped interior, seeking an exit route. As I left the cockpit and moved toward the shadowy underbelly of the ship, past pipes that hissed with steam and walls lined with interlocking metal, I stumbled upon a swirling void that dripped with forgotten secrets. Flashes of light burst from the room beyond, sounds of electric bursts resonating against heavy steel. This was the Vanguard's control center. Stepping cautiously into the heart of their ship, I froze, eyes landing on the central panels where bright red numbers fluctuated violently. I couldn't afford to tarry. Ada, what now? Override the controls, she responded, accessing mainframe capabilities. You can commandeer their operational compliance, broadcasting a note of disobedience. As code streamed rapidly across the display, I felt the full weight of my choices here in the vanguard of battle against my brother's obsession. This was more than a fight for survival. It was an awakening to deeper self, identity, a reckoning clad in resolve. I stepped forward and forced my hands against the panel. With a deep breath, I channeled memories of laughter shared beneath distant stars, of cheers that celebrated our shared ambitions, of energy that bridged the chasm between doubt and purpose. This was not just about me. All of those dreams now shimmered with potential before me. Override engaged, Ada announced, her voice now infused with a new vibrancy. Digital strings danced and pulsed, deconstructing barriers like starlight piercing a darkened sky. The vanguards will be redirected to perimeter sectors. Let's get out of here, I yelled, already one step ahead and pushing back against the physical confines of the unknown. The alarms blared urgently, but each frantic pulse fueled my determination. As I raced back to the cockpit, an unexpected sound halted me in my tracks. A voice, rasped with intelligence, stirring in the air. You're a bold one, aren't you? It dripped from the shadows like venom, weaving around me like a shroud. Emerging was a figure in a dark uniform, the emblem of the Vanguard gleaming on their armor, an agent of consequence. Stay away, I commanded, adrenaline and fear spiking my own heart. Do you honestly believe you can escape the void? The figure advanced, voice low and tainted with the gravity of their countless conquests. You dance on the edge of destiny, but soon you'll find you're nothing more than a pawn. With grit and reflex instinct, I unsheathed a stun blade from the nearby console, forming a barrier between us. I won't be your pawn. Beware the tides of power, for they have a way of turning. They seemed unfazed, eyes gleaming with an otherworldly knowledge. The cosmos is fraught with unknown variables, and if you choose this path, it will lead to more than mere escape. The ultimatum hung palpably in the air, tensions curling like limbs around us. I took a step back and steadied my senses. There was no time for hesitation, but I felt the world around me shift. I won't let fear dictate my path. Then welcome to chaos, the Vanguard agent replied, vanishing like ash in the wind, leaving shadows and echoes behind. As I re-entered the cockpit, the tension surged anew. Ada set the coordinates for home, I breathed, stealing the breath of interstellar ambition. The stars outside may have danced defiantly, but I had fought back the darkness, and I vowed I would not return empty-handed. Coordinates set, Ada responded, pulse steady against the thrum of the ship. But the Vanguard will not let this go unanswered. Hurtling through the Empyrean winds of possibility, shadows swirled behind. The memories I carried and the echoes of that haunting voice would seep into my consciousness. Something larger than I had ever imagined was awakening, profound and boundless, and I would race forward into the heart of it. Gripping the controls, I felt the ship hum in tandem, an electric harmony rippling through my veins as we leapt toward liberation. Each star, each cosmic flare we brushed against was a testament to that promise. A promise I had woven through shared ambition, a mission deeper than Max's dreams, touched with dreams yet unfulfilled. The next chapter awaited, where destinies would unfold beneath the watchful eyes of the void, and a reality far richer than I could fathom beckoned on the horizon. A silent hum enveloped the cockpit as I navigated the ship away from the Vanguard's control center, mind racing with new dimensions of purpose. The stars outside blurred into ribbons of light, slashing through the void as we broke free from the grasp of the anomaly and from the demons of our past. Freedom swirled in my chest like jet fuel, but entwined within it was uncertainty, a flicker of shadows that gnawed at the edges of my thoughts. As we carved a path through the cosmos, reality came crashing back. The Vanguard would be relentless in their pursuit, and the brazen act of commandeering their vessel ignited the fuse of consequence. "Ada, how long until we reach baseline orbit?" I asked, urgency threading through my voice. Calculating trajectory adjustments. Estimated time to intercept with the fleet, 28 minutes, assuming we maintain current speed, she replied, her tone steady, anchoring me as expectation flared inside. Given the Vanguard's intelligence and tracking capabilities, they will not be far behind. I swallowed hard, inwardly cursing the choices that had led to this moment. My heart raced with the cacophony of possibilities, the relentless momentum propelling me forward while clawing back the pragmatism that weighed heavy in my mind. We need a planned, divert course and find a way to outsmart them. I leaned forward, fixing my gaze on the stars beyond, each pinprick of light a reminder of the lives intertwined in the cosmic dance. They used those risks to twist my brother into an ambition that saw the universe as a playground, not a sanctuary. "You sense a greater purpose," Ada chimed in as though reading the turmoil alive in me. "You wish to reclaim something lost, the cosmic balance threatened by hubris." I nodded, feeling that ancient ache of truth resurface. The battle to be more than just explorers boiled within me. We adventured into the cosmic unknown with aspirations to wield power, without comprehending the cost. But as the pulse of the ship echoed against the backdrop of stars, I knew I had changed. It wasn't merely survival that animates me. It was an understanding that stewardship of the universe took precedence over dominion. What if we set a trap? I mused, eyes flaring with inspiration. They're accustomed to finding us through brute force. If we can lure them somewhere unexpected, we can buy enough time to return to the fleet, to warn them of the dangers. Optimistic, but feasible, Ada replied, initializing a map that would lay out possible trajectories within hazardous sectors. The gravitational pull of nearby black holes twinkled like diamonds in the fabric of the void, the volatile energy crackling with imminent destruction. The perfect place for an ambush. If we navigate the field just right, we can deceive their sensors. A breath of exhilaration cut through the tension as I stroked the controls. Let's make it happen. As the minutes ticked away, we crafted a desperate web of chaos, summoning the cosmic elements to our aid. I repositioned the ship expertly, weaving through the treacherous curves and pulsating currents with a grace that felt foreign yet instinctual, tapping into our connection like an artist sketching a masterpiece dictated by the stars. The deeper I dived into those swirling pathways, the more I felt the essence of Ada's presence. We transcended mere algorithm and pilot. We became a singular driving force, defiant against the encroaching tide. Activating cloaking mechanism, Ada announced, her tone laden with focus. I bit down on my lip, heart racing, as the ship faded into the void, a seamless whisper among the manifold forces of nature. Prepare to enter the distortion field in 3, 2, 1. When the ship plunged into the anomaly, the vessel shimmered out of focus, a mere flicker adrift in the capricious cosmic winds. "We've done it," I exclaimed, a rush of victory surging through my veins even as we surrendered ourselves to the unknown. Now we wait. As darkness enveloped us, I could not help but ponder the gravity of what lay before me. I couldn't escape the weight of decisions made falling into the flashpoint of the past, chasing down my brother's unfulfilled legacy and perilous choices. Had our fates already been written, Or were we still grappling for authorship of our destinies? Do you miss him? The words escaped me before I could catch them. A vulnerability cracked open in the air, straining against the weight of my volatile emotions. Silence hovered for a heartbeat. Your brother, Ada clarified as the ship trembled with the unsettling sounds of cosmic winds. Max has shaped your decisions, your drive, yet he is an echo with his own aspirations and ambitions. I sighed, eyes overwhelming with the swirling memories of our childhood and the brighter star he once was in my life. I keep wondering if things could have been different, if we'd chosen to traverse knowledge rather than subjugation, if he had chosen not to dive into the depths of obsession. Yet every path leads to growth, does it not? She replied softly, her base algorithms weaving into something almost compassionate. You have the chance to redefine the narrative, to take what values resonate and forge a new fate. A sudden roar outside engulfed our senses. A jarring eruption that shattered my concentration like glass shattering against the ground. Alarms blared urgently, illuminating the cockpit like a frantic heartbeat. A vanguard ships on approach. They have detected our presence. The tension snapped back as my instincts kicked into high gear. Ada, engage evasive maneuvers. Deploying shields now, she replied, a fierce current surging through our connection. We must capitalize on the distortion field while we still can. The ship quaked as I swung the controls, steering us deeper into the chaos of the anomaly. Stars fragmented into chaos, a dizzying dance of light and opposition momentarily obscuring my consciousness. Ada, their systems are locked onto us, I grunted, straining against the chaotic atmosphere. We were outmanned and outgunned, trapped in a web of fate we had woven. And yet, with every pulse of uncertainty, a voice echoed defiantly through the howling void. The dawning realization that this struggle ordained change. We can't let them lead us toward surrender. If we reroute our engines to rapidly cycle through output temporarily, risking hull integrity, she interjected, but the fire ignited within me, propelling me forward. It's a calculated risk. If we explode outward, we could breach their circuits and disrupt their attack pattern, initiating power reroute, confirming output at 200%. The ship roared again, energy crackling through her frame as I gripped the controls tighter. And now, with one final thrust, I propelled us outward in a panicked spiral, rippling through the fabric of reality. The vanguard ships bore down upon us, but in our audacity we became the storm. Pulses of energy illuminated around us, threatening to devour our ship into the ether of creation. Systems reintegrating. Ada shouted as the ship vibrated against the tension, the entire cosmos trembling with an unseen energy. A moment, just give me a moment. The vanguard loomed larger, shadows shifting within their aligned formation. I could see them through the chaos, unfaltering and resolute. The ghostly figure of the captain I had seen before emerged on the ship's comms, gunmetal gray accentuating their fervor. You cannot escape the path of your deeds. Their voice surged through the comm system, laden with reckoning. Yield now, or be obliterated. Never, I whispered under my breath, summoning the strength forged by countless struggles, fueled by the desire to redefine my fate. I had become more than I had ever imagined, no longer broken by the shadows darting behind memories, but renewed by the chorus of life thrumming around me. Engage Maneuver 13B. Focus all power, I commanded, easing the ship to the limits unknown. In that freezing heartbeat, excitement danced within me, igniting a sensation that we had danced this dance before, and this time I would not let it unravel. Engines primed, Ada confirmed, her tone pure, forging through uncertainty. With an insatiable pulse, we veered with torrent intensity, sweeping outward and blazing into the heart of the vanguard fleet. In that crucible of chaos, we tore through veins of cosmic darkness, rupturing the careful linings of the control vessels. My heart thundered, a surge of hope illuminating the chaos as arcs of energy blazed behind us, disrupting the cohesion of their fleet. What just? The captain's voice faltered, the anticipation heavy with disbelief, as our ship danced away from the collapsing tide and tore through the void once more. I barely breathed, adrenaline thrumming against my bones as we barreled toward safety. The starboard thrusters flared, propelling us back toward the outskirts of the black hole's grip, the darkness receding as we traversed the thin line between certainty and uncertainty. "We're almost there," Ada, relief surged, mingling with the adrenaline still pounding through us. But before I could gloat at our escape, a shattering impact rocked the hull, sending shards of metal flying and alarms blaring anew. Hull breach, structural integrity compromised, Ada shouted, her tone now laced with urgency. "A Vanguard's gunfire has breached our shields. Prepare for emergency stabilization." I gripped the controls as panic edged back into my thoughts, every echo painfully resonating with hard truths. "No, we can't after everything." I kicked the engines into overdrive, cutting all non-vital systems, focusing solely on survival. But our escape had come at a cost. Gravity pushed me back against the chair as the ship calmed, hearts still racing as we raced to the grasp of safety. We emerged beyond the threshold, a kaleidoscopic explosion behind us. The Vanguard fleet, fragmented like stars, smashing against reality, and I grasped the control panel like an anchor, emotions swirling. "The warriors of the light," a voice resonated, like the celestial cadence of fate, as a new force emerged from the depths of the expanse, spiraling toward us. But there were no answers, only the weight of what has come to pass, encoded within the vastness of the void. A ship painted in brilliant hues of steel and copper materialized, its curves and lines defying description, thundering through the remnants of destruction. The insignia glinted in the starlight, a symbol I had only seen in the dusty lore of bygone spaces, a remnant of ancient warriors who governed the stars, protectors of the realm. "Can they be trusted?" I whispered, my thoughts a tumultuous tide as a shimmering projection launched toward us. "This is Commandant Hera of the Celestial Vanguard. You are under the protection of the Orders of Eladria." An aura of authority surrounded her, framing her light. "Your bravery has not gone unnoticed, child. You seek to unearth the threads of fate." The weight of what unfolded at that moment eclipsed my thoughts, and I held my breath, waiting. "You have defied the beseeching tides of fate, but there is much to be done," she continued, the power of her testament alighting something visceral in my core. "You stand at the crux of choice in the labyrinthine universe. Will you join in fellowship?" "Fellowship," I echoed, confusion mingling with trepidation. My world cascaded into possibilities both radiant and hollow, but the monolith above beckoned like a star cut loose from the perpetual dance. "You've witnessed the dangers that breed ambition and the horrors that intimacy begat. Your brother's ambitions sowed seeds of discord that resonate across the void, darkening the light. But you hold power, child, an agency, a voice lost among the whispers in ether." Every word tremored in my mind as colors twisted through the portals of memory. Max's laughter, his dreams of conquest, the legacy of chaos consuming him, spiraling toward destruction. "What do you ask of me?" The question materialized like a whispered promise. "Join us. Stand against the tide that seeks to drown this universe in shadows. Unearth the threads binding hearts and destinies together. Embrace the stars, with profound uncertainty twining with purpose." An ember stirred within my core. In that ethereal moment, clarity emerged, a voice breaking through the whispers of doubt to ignite a chorus of resonant truth. "Thy will." I spoke the words aloud as vibrant light surged through the ship, shimmering and pulsating with the ripple of choices made. "Together, we will draw light from the darkness." As I spoke, the very essence of the cosmos echoed back, weaving uncharted fates in myriad possibilities. The Vanguard, no longer adversaries, but the allies who dared to confront twilight, everything felt interconnected. Each star, each soul, a thread woven into the cosmic tapestry. And as we surged forward into the embrace of the light, I felt the pull of newfound purpose, a promise echoing through the wings of the universe. And at that moment, I grasped the weight of destiny within my hands, ready to write the next chapter of our story. The bridge of the celestial vanguard shimmered with energy as I stepped onto its pristine surface, an uncharted frontier that felt both awe-inspiring and intimidating. We had left the vanguard fleet behind, a twisted trail of destruction from the encounter, and now I stood at the heart of the resistance, tracing the echoes of my brother's legacy into this new congregation of hope and purpose. Prime Commandant Hera was a beacon against the chaos, focused intensity radiating from her, the commanding presence enveloping me like the chill of outer space. "Welcome to the Celestial Vanguard," she said, her tone infused with a resonance that pulled at the threads of fate around us. "You've faced the brunt of the storm, and now you stand at the precipice of a new alliance, a life beyond mere survival." I glanced at the array of officers bustling about, eyes glued to data streams and multi-dimensional displays scrolling with torrents of information. This wasn't just a fleet, it was a movement, a commitment to dismantling the shadows that unnervingly permeated the vast void. "I appreciate the welcome," I replied, still reeling from the rapid unraveling of my previous existence. "But what do you need me for? I'm just a rogue pilot with a troubled past." Hera held my gaze steady, her azure eyes undiminished by the myriad of calamities that blew through the cosmos. "You are so much more than you know. You hold the agency we desperately need, an understanding that stitches the fabric of this universe, and a connection beyond mere ambitions that others have forsaken. You've tasted the depths of darkness, and now you can become a keeper of the light." Her words stirred something within me, catalyzing the urgent flicker of memories, the laughter shared with Max, our unrelenting dreams, and the moments of reckoning. My identity had been pulled into an ever-deepening chaos, yet now it called me to lead forward with defiance. "Then what is the mission?" I asked, the determination building beneath the surface. "Follow the stars," she instructed, fingers gliding across the panel before her. "We are orchestrating a plan to gather allies scattered among these distant chains of existence. Your brother's ambition has reignited the flames of unrest, but it is a flame that might compel hope back into the cosmos. We will strike deals, extend hands to those cloaked in fear, and expose the malevolence that blooms from unchecked ambition." I felt the pulse of energy shift in the air, igniting my purpose alongside the urge to reclaim what was lost. "And what role do I play in this coalition?" I asked. Hera turned slightly towards a holographic display that unfurled before us, revealing an intricate lattice of star systems intertwined with pathways of power, the constellations interlinking like threads in a loom. "Two primary factions will be crucial in the unfolding confrontation: the Astral Confederation and the Sentinels of Terra. Both possess strategic resources, access to intelligence, and influence. We need an ambassador, someone who has tasted both uncertainty and ambition." Me. It felt like a misfit's call, a whimsical thought distracting me from the weight of the situation. "I'm no diplomat. I'm just a mess of chaos in the void." Hera's expression didn't waver, and therein lies your strength. You carry experience and perspective that many lack. You've witnessed the consequences of hubris up close and personal. You understand the cost of dreams. You can evoke empathy where others may falter, tethering hope back into our seeping tendrils of despair. Hera turned from the display, eyes blazing with conviction. "Your brother placed ambition above everything else, and the universe is holding its breath as his actions ripple across the cosmos. The only way we can avoid being consumed is through consciousness and allegiance." I took a breath, feeling the gravity weigh on my shoulders like the cosmos itself bore down upon me. "Where do we start?" "First, we gather intelligence on the Astral Confederation. Their leadership is known for their elusive demeanor, but their commanders are eager for connections with humanity. You will need to infiltrate their ranks, be their voice, convey our need for a united front." Before I could respond, the comms flickered to life. "Commandant Hera, incoming message from our intel team. We have found the location of the Astral Confederation's next assembly." Clearly, the urgency charged the air, and Hera waved a hand to silence the flurry that ensued. "Let's hear it." A holographic image flickered to life, a celestial body bound by lush landscapes, shimmering in silver dust. Its aura radiated a harmonic resonance, mesmerizing in its ethereal beauty. "This is Anaska," the voice continued with rippling energy as the entire bridge turned to listen in. "The Confederation gathers here every lunar cycle, but take caution. It is a sanctuary shrouded in veils of riddles and illusions. Their leaders are wary any semblance of deceit will be met with immediate repercussions. Then we won't deceive them," I stated firmly. "We'll lay our purpose bare. I'll connect with their leaders, but will need your support, someone to give me access and remain on standby." Hera's gaze brightened with approval. "You have the right instincts. I'll deploy a team for operational support. A pilot, a tactician, and a specialist in diplomacy. Meet them in the hangar before we set forth." The adrenaline surged again as my pulse quickened in anticipation. This was my moment to seize a mantle, to redefine existence in this cosmic dance of ebony and starlight. And what if I fail? The doubt teased at the edge of my consciousness. "What if I'm not enough? Then you will rise," Hera replied, dumping an energy of solidarity into the space between us. "You are more than an individual. You are a manifestation of countless choices, dreams intertwined. Trust the voice of your heart. Remember your purpose and pursue it, even in the face of uncertainty." We shared a moment of quiet understanding, bound by the intricacies of destiny interwoven, no matter how fraught the path. The chamber buzzed with anticipation, a reminder that the fate of souls, their very existence, pulsed just beneath the surface. I turned and made my way to the hangar, heart bounding in rhythm with the notions of bravery and hope. My steps felt light inside the spiraling load of uncertainty, an unexpected twist in the tide hinting that this journey embraced change. As I approached the hangar, a bright light dipped and spread across the cavernous room, illuminating the polished shapes of vessels that adorned the open expanse. 3 figures stood waiting, their expressions a mixture of curiosity and steely resolve. The first, a tall figure draped in sleek black armor edged in azure, wielded an undeniable air of command. Beside them, a fiercely intelligent gaze belonged to a petite woman, meticulously scrolling through files that hovered holographically before her, intrigued by the data streams. Finally, a fellow pilot leaned against a nearby ship's exterior, a rogue smile curving the corners of their lips. My breath caught momentarily as I took in the crew assembled before me, artists of their craft woven into the tapestry of possibility. "Team," I greeted, resolute as I met their eyes. "We have a universe to save. Glad you're back on your feet," the pilot replied, pushing off the ship. "I'm Kai. If you need to break some ceilings soon, count me in. I've got sharp reflexes and a knack for piloting that'll surprise you." "Zara," the tactician introduced, her expression serious, brows knitted in thought. "I've analyzed the Astral Confederation's protocols. Their leaders thrive on perception. We need to manipulate their desires, steer them toward our vision while keeping our intentions veiled. I'll lead the negotiations, and I'm Torin," the armored figure added with a steady nod, stowing away holographic diagrams. "I've observed patterns in their tactics. Let's ensure their vulnerabilities are exploited without stepping on too many toes." Excitement surged through me, a smoldering ember igniting into a fire. Together, we will pave our way and build a coalition. There's power in our story, and we will weave that tale into their consciousness. With a shared understanding, we boarded our newly christened ship, the Silver Fleece, its contours sleek and inviting, painted with hints of starlight that seemed to dance as we took our positions. The vessel hummed with vitality as we cloaked our way into the unknown, armed with purpose and a determination to protect our universe from grasping shadows. Journeying beyond the reaches of chaos, I grasped the essence of ambassadorship. I would channel the legacy of dreams unfulfilled into a treasure of hope, a promise I carried forward amidst the whispers of interstellar allure. Anaska shimmered in the star, lit distances ahead, a sanctuary poised on the cusp of fate, waiting in restless anticipation for what we would sow. As we approached our destination, the elegant expanse of Anaska unfolded before us like a symphony, a harmony of colors and possibilities interwoven amid suggestion and allure. The sanctuary awaited our arrival, an odd amalgamation of serenity and expectancy, hinting at greater truths beneath the layers of cosmic veneer. And so we soared forged into the expansive unknown, ready not only to negotiate alliances, but to stake our claim within the annals of existence itself, where the risks associated with hopes and dreams bore wings above the darkest of voids. Bound by collective purpose, we marched onward, carving our narrative against the quietude of the stars beneath us, arising to reclaim our right to flourish. Our story was just beginning, and its light would endure through the echoes of time. The shimmering realm of Anuska unfolded beneath us, an opalescent expanse where delicate crystal trees swayed in an ethereal breeze, their leaves glinting under a canopy of cerulean skies. Like a natural mosaic, the land was a tapestry crafted from light and shadow, beckoning us onward as the silver fleece glided into the atmosphere, its sleek form echoing the elegance of this celestial sphere. I could not help but feel awash with an odd mixture of anticipation and apprehension. "This place, it feels alive," I said as we descended towards the verdant landscape. "The atmosphere radiates energy unlike anything we've encountered." Kai, at the helm, nodded with the focused intensity of his craft. "Keep her steady, Zara and Torin. Let's be mindful of our approach." Zara, ever observant, scanned the unfolding terrain for any signs of activity. We're not alone. Sensor readings indicate a significant presence forming at the eastern forest line. The Confederation's assembly is already underway. The fleeting adrenaline rushed back, a reminder of what lay ahead. The sacrifice of power of integrity was at stake. I gripped the armrests, my mind swirling with all that had led us here, the ambushes, my brother's ambition, adventures of dark exploration intertwined in threads of fate. "Time to make our entry," I stated, a determination rising within me. "We'll connect, and I'll convey our proposals. But remember, trust is earned in layers, not built instantly." As if the universe had aligned in agreement, the silver fleece touched down gently on a grassy hilltop, dappled sunlight filtering through the branches. I sensed the glowing anticipation in my chest as we disembarked. Feeling every fiber of my being recognize the weight of what was to come. With a swift motion, we stepped into an immediate enveloping shimmer holographic gates that flickered into existence around us as the path intertwined with ethereal floats. We moved forward, instincts screaming through the air like tendrils of anxiety, until we reached the gathering. From our vantage point, it became evident the assembly was an intricate dance of factions, each marked by symbols that spiraled with vibrant energy. Leaders adorned in ornate attire stood at the center, engaged in animated conversation. Their reflections were painted across shimmering surfaces, silhouettes of ambition wrapped in curiosity drifting just beyond my grasp. "There they are," I whispered, spotting the high-ranking officials of the Confederation clustered together, speakers of fate, wielding influence over the galaxy's turbulent energies. 1,000 thoughts clouded my mind, uncertainty battling with purpose. Remember, this isn't just about seeking an alliance. It's about creating a bond of trust with them. I steadied myself and stepped closer, feeling the hum of collective intent vibrate through the air. The atmosphere shifted, a charged recognition drawing attention as the leaders turned toward us, eyes glinting with curiosity and caution. An elder in a flowing radiance stepped forward, adorned with intricate cosmic patterns woven into her raiment, her sharp gaze piercing through layers of pretense. "You are from the Celestial Vanguard, yes." Her voice resonated like a calming balm, but infused with steel. "What brings you to Anuska? Speak." I took a breath every moment with Max's choices coiled tightly around my heart, and gathered every ounce of resolve. "We seek a coalition, an alliance against the looming threats coming to life in the depths of the universe. The Vanguard's ambition has ignited shadows, and not all who wield power seek to use it responsibly." The elders exchanged glances. They seemed captivated yet guarded, their eyes flickering like distant stars caught in gravitational pulls that defined our existence. Ambition can lead to chaos, yet it is also a dual-edged blade that inspires progress. Another elder, a voice smooth like starlight, interjected, "But what proof do you provide that you tread in earnest?" I squared my shoulders, feeling the dream of hope unfurl within me. Ambition led to the storms we encounter, but respect will weave a tapestry to safeguard the light. I stand as a result of painful lessons, a reformed idealist willing to forge new bonds. A silence swept over the assembly, the tension twisting through the air. I felt Zara's hand on my shoulder. "You possess wisdom gleaned from suffering. Speak of it," she urged as her own confidence radiated through our connection, granting me a renewed fire. "The first truths we need to unfurl are the gravity of our decisions." I pushed forward, searing through the uncertainty. The Vanguard's recent actions have birthed ripples of conflict, and it will be our collective strength that shields us from imminent despair. The elders listened intently as I wove a tale of the turmoil. My brother's actions had caused the ambushes, the relentless chase across the gulf of darkness. How countless lives were at risk because of unchecked ambition. "We are not attacking ambitions, we are confronting consequences," I continued. "If we unite, we can steer through the shadows and illuminate new pathways of coexistence." One of the elders nodded, their eyes gleaming with understanding, but the atmosphere remained thick with lingering doubt. "But how can we trust you? It is said uncertainty reigns when cobwebs of deception dangle above." My heart twisted painfully. They were right. Trust was a fragile promise easily severed. Courage surged through me. "Allow me to demonstrate my commitment. If necessary, I will stake my life to prove my resolve." In that moment, a spark ignited, a potential tether of hope yet ungrasped. The air crackled and the elder moved aside, revealing a looming silhouette. Wet deep in the gathering, a figure cloaked in shadows, tasked with enforcing decisions upon others. Should one sow deception, they suffer grave consequences. The terror fluttered through my gut. They were holding the weight of those consequences. I inched closer, heart racing. "But what will it take to forge the trust we need?" The cloaked figure stepped forward, revealing their true form. A complex figure of shimmering enlightenment, mixed with unfathomable shadows of blues and violets. Emotion rippled through the assembly like waves drawn from the depths. "One must venture beyond curtains of doubt," the figure proclaimed. "Join us in an ancient rite of revelation, a pilgrimage of truth. In this sacred space the collective will witness your intent." Silence fell, thick and heavy with possibilities. My pulse raced, the fear dancing upon my skin, but a deeper truth beckoned. This was my chance to solidify our purpose, a gift woven through the fabric of the cosmic depths. "I will accept this pilgrimage," I declared, rooted in a conviction that felt brighter than the stars. "For in truth we find our roots." The atmosphere shifted, and whispers broke through the assembly, uncertainty cascading like a vibrant mist in the air. The elder, her face illuminated with resolve, gestured toward a boy of delicate craft who appeared from beyond the shadows, a young acolyte shaped from light and illusion. "He will escort you to the sacred hearth, a crucible of destinies intertwined. There you may uncover your truth, united either in hope or darkened in despair." The fellowship emerged beside me, Kai, Zara, and Torin, their expressions a mixture of determination and unending loyalty. As we stepped forward, the assembly parted like the sea, curiosity dancing between the crowd. The path unfolded towards the horizon, bathed in light and mystery, the air pulsating with energized anticipation. "Whatever lies ahead, we stand united," I declared, meeting every gaze, feeling the pulse of their spirits entwined with mine, a treasure rooting deeper than the unknown. As we crossed the threshold into the sacred hearth, the atmosphere shifted, an unfamiliar warmth draping over us like an embrace. The illumination morphed, revealing a circular chamber adorned with intricate carvings, the whispers of civilizations long forgotten, their energies resonating with aspirations timeless. A platform sprawled across the center, bathed in warmth, beckoning us forward like an altar of truth. "Take your places upon the platform," the elder said. "The right will initiate and peel back the layers of ambition, revealing the core of each soul's intent." The energy in the room shifted again, creating layers of ethereal vibrations that resonated with both trepidation and exhilaration. I glanced at my comrades, their eyes glimmering with unwavering support. We stepped onto the platform, hearts beating in sync, an arrangement of stars coded with purpose as we felt the warmth encircle us, a surge of energies intertwining into the pulsating weave of time. "Breathe and release your intentions," the cloaked figure instructed, their voice wrapping around us. "Embrace the illumination, unveil shadows hidden." Slowly, we closed our eyes, surrendering to the warmth that engulfed us. A rush of individual experiences washed over me, moments with Max, the laughter echoing amidst stars, the fear that pressed down during our desperate escape. I felt their shadows lift, replaced with the embers of reason, the shimmer of hope I now infused into the cosmos. Like the breaking dawn, each of my comrades opened their auras, revealing fragments of their histories. Kai glimpsed his adventurous past, a renegade piloting through storms, fear and excitement thrumming together in an unbroken rhythm. Zara, amidst the kaleidoscope, unveiled the tension of diplomacy, a sound intellect shaped by the fires of knowing when to retreat and when to push forward. Torrens, light wove between shades of shadows, the determination of an artist willing to shape destinies, constantly redirected yet never faltering. I felt their spirit connected, each bright beacon intertwined with the mission we shared, the talismans of hope blooming brightly amidst the clouds. The shimmering warmth enveloped around us, pulsing like a heart. As the room transitioned into shared memories, a symphony of resonance weaving through our cores, stitching together the common threads of our existence. Together, we stood not as individuals, but as warriors wrapped in knowledge forged by both ambition and consequence. As the echoes of our histories danced, I sensed a wave of potential rushing toward us, the latent power of the universe stretching itself, pushing forth in anticipation as we dove into the depths of our truths. I took one last deep breath, embracing their presence. "We are here to forge a new path," I said, the words vibrating alongside the frequencies of emerging possibilities. No longer chasing ambition, we are now protectors of destiny. A brilliant pulse surged through the hearth, illuminating the chamber, enveloping us within its luminous embrace. The energies shifted dynamically, a blooming vase of starlight swirling around us as myriad visions unfolded. Old and new threads sparked together like constellations converging toward destiny. "A witness, the resolve of a unified heart," the elder's voice echoed through the room. "For your intentions reveal the timeless bridges forged within the weave of existence." The brightness enveloped every corner of the hearth as the light intensified, honoring both our struggles and our courage to confront what was uncertain. Together, we will light our way through the shadows. The chamber resonated with emotion, laughter, struggles, triumph, and sorrow. Each heartbeat unfolding beyond time, culture, and life intertwined into the broader tapestry of existence. As the light pulsated and a chorus of mixed voices rose, I felt my spirit surge, a striking current woven through our joined destinies, intertwining our paths into an emerging reality, raw and unyielding. And, in that collective heartbeat, hope became something tangible, a force ready to rise against the darkness lingering at the edges of the universe as we reached forth together, ready to seize our place among the stars. Embracing the power within, we stepped beyond individual shadows and stepped forward into the unknown, a pact of responsibility parodying every dream shared. Emerging from the sacred hearth, we returned to the gathering with a new resolve glowing brightly within us, the energies still resonating in echoes of warmth. The assembly turned expectantly, eyes seeking clarity from the right. As we regrouped, a sense of unwavering purpose pulsed through my veins, a beacon illuminating our confrontation against the darkness we'd fled. The high-ranking officials awaited, eyes shimmering with a mixture of curiosity and skepticism, their attention gripped by what we had experienced. "What have you drawn from your journey?" the elder inquired, her voice carrying the weight of expectation. Our truths converged, binding us together. I began, commanding the attention of every soul gathered. We shared the meaning of ambition without purpose and the risks entwined with power. But we have risen to redefine our paths, and we intend to light the shadows threatening to consume us. Murmurs rolled through the assembly, a contagion of hope threading its way through their hearts. They felt the change, the dynamics shifting like winds of renewal. Collective tension gave way to the soft murmur of possibility. As our truths resonated across the gathering, I turned to the cloaked figure, heart racing with newfound determination. "Will you heed our call? Will you join forces with the celestial vanguard to either illuminate the cosmos protected or allow ambition to spiral and cause chaos?" The elder inclined her head, curiosity swirling behind her gaze, a flame casting reflections across the assembly. Unity is a powerful catalyst. The promise woven in sincerity can be a beginning. Then let it be a beginning, I urged, my heart racing against a backdrop of starlit skies. Allies, together we can forge pacts, bleed into the harmonious embrace of purpose, a collective journey to safeguard what blooms. A murmur enveloped the assembly, and the energies began to shift beneath the gathering, transforming uncertainty into threads of expectation and understanding. "Let us unite and embrace the awakening," the elder proclaimed, raising her hands to the starlit skies. "In purpose, we recall that even among shadows ingenuity brings forth resilience, and in that our destinies spiral forth into the firmament." The assembly erupted in a roar, excitement and determination fueling their spirits, a chorus of words intertwining in the currents of hope. We stood united, each thread interwoven not only by shared ambition, but a commitment to protect the light against the encroaching darkness that threatened the edges of the universe. As the assembly began to break up, voices rising in lively conversations, I turned back to my companions, Kai, Zara, and Torin, who stood beside me, their expressions a mixture of exhilaration and reckoning. "We did it," I said, my voice a hushed whisper amidst the noise. "This is just the beginning." "You held your ground in that, right?" Kai pointed out. "Introductory negotiations are the first steps. What awaits beyond can be greater, but it will demand all we've gathered on this sacred journey. We are threads woven into the stars," Zara added, her eyes shining with an unwavering resolve. "A success does not come without challenges, but we must be prepared to maneuver between the shadows. And we are the navigators," Torin affirmed, gesturing to the varying factions that now mingled beyond the hearth. "Let's ensure our ambition remains rooted in light." With every ounce of conviction that coursed through the veins of the universe, we headed toward conversations unfurling, a canvas awaiting the brush of our story, urging us forward as we stepped into the vibrant and pulsing energies of the assembly. Together, we became ambassadors of change, hearts bound in purpose, emerging as catalysts for unity to weave across the tapestry of time. And with each step forward, a promise stoked beneath the stars, taking its ground as we soared ahead, ready to face the challenges yet not imagined, not merely chasers of fate, but architects of destiny reborn in the embrace of what laid unfolding, vibrant, and alive. In the coming days, as alliances formed and agreements took shape, we would guide those around us, the shimmering starlight weaving into the fabric of a cosmic coalition that held the potential to shift the balance of power. The darkness might still linger in the void, but now, equipped with purpose and principle, we stood unwavering, a pact inscribed within the constellations, a spark igniting a revolution among the stars. The defining moment of our journey shimmered alive and beckoned us forth into the depths of possibility, awaiting beyond the kaleidoscope of darkness out to infinity where hope awaited upon the cosmic horizon. And that was just the beginning. As the first light of dawn broke over the celestial landscape of Anaska, the vibrant terrain shimmered with a renewed energy, a promise that had been kindled among the stars. The assembly that had gathered was alive with a spirit of unity, hope swirling like the brilliant colors of the cosmos. With each word exchanged among the factions, fragile concepts of trust solidified into ironclad commitments, weaving a tapestry of strength that would carry us through the storm. The days within Anuska unfolded like petals beneath the sun. Meetings and negotiations carried momentum, each conversation fueled by the collective determination to unite against the encroaching darkness. The assembly swelled with delegates from the Astral Confederation, each leader contributing their vision, sharing stories of turmoil and ambition. Every voice became an echo of experience, a thread intricately sewn into the grand design. Amidst it all, I found myself in the heart of the conflict, navigating through intricate conversations that spanned the depths of cosmic wisdom to the harsh realities of ambition. Every exchange became a new opportunity to bridge gaps our experience merging with theirs, creating bonds that could withstand the trials of what lay ahead. In the back of my mind, I held close the lessons learned, that unity was not merely about alliance, but about understanding the shared burdens of existence. "A look at them," Zara remarked one afternoon as we stepped outside the grand hall, observing a table filled with elaborately charted plans and diverse delegates, each voice a reflection of the many lives at stake. "They're starting to see past their fears. We can build something formidable here." I nodded, feeling the electric energy coursing through the air, igniting the passion in our team. Using our stories to dismantle their fears, I agreed, recalling the vulnerability shown in our sacred hearth rite. If we can continue to harness emotions, then we'll forge something unbreakable. As we returned to the discussions, Kai leaned against the table, his expression contemplative and fierce. "What we're doing is more than survival, we're reshaping the ethos of how we connect and interact. This coalition can redefine our future." The air was thick with potential. Every voice that joined us contributed a spark, igniting a larger flame destined to light down the darkest paths we would inevitably face. Yet amidst this burgeoning connection, I felt an unease simmer beneath the surface. A specter of my brother's aspirations haunted me, reminding me of the ambition that had driven him toward the edge of oblivion. As the nexus of our work grew intense, I often lost myself in the thoughts of Max, the brother I once admired, whose ambition now lay shrouded in shadows. I meant to honor him, not as a ghost, but as a reminder of the choices that had spurred me to redefine success. On the 5th day of our assembly, I gathered the leaders under a luminous arboreal canopy. "We are setting foundations for a new order," I proclaimed, my voice resonating as confidence rippled through me. "We must not forget why we are here. We unite not merely to combat ambition born of chaos, but to protect our futures, individual and collective. The darkness approaches, but we stand as custodians of our destinies." The hush fell over the crowd, anticipation swelling as the thrumming energy of the chamber charged the atmosphere with untold hopes. At the very edges of our gathering, I sensed the lingering shadows of anxiety and uncertainty. How would our newfound solidarity hold against the impending turmoil? Just as I stepped down, relieved but electrified by the remarks, an urgent calm alert sliced through the atmosphere. A figure emerged from the crowd, Torin, eyes wide with trepidation. "We have confirmation. The vanguard remains hostile. They have mobilized their fleets, preparing for a swift attack. They're already scouting outer territories for weaknesses." A collective gasp rippled through the assembly, whispers undulating like storm clouds across a horizon. "Then time is not on our side," I started, heart racing, but the cloaked figure I had met earlier stepped forward. "As you rally strength, prepare for the assault," she declared, her presence a calm amidst the chaos. "We must be artful. The vanguard are relentless. They will test every weak point. Our unity will forge resilience, but we must also be adaptable." I felt renewed resolve ripple through the air. "Let's set a strategy, gather our resources, and enhance our defenses. We cannot unveil our strengths or access vulnerabilities." The assembly hummed with energy as Zara and I worked steadily alongside the leaders. Our minds, fueled by urgency and passion, fused ideas together, like cosmic energies colliding to create new worlds. As we drafted our strategies and dispersed resources among the factions, I cultivated whispers of belief. The stars danced fiercely above Anuska, guiding us as we aligned our strengths and began forming the layers of endurance and purpose, uniting hearts and minds, eager to align our stories for the battles ahead. Let's not forget to communicate with our alliances, extend the hand of trust beyond our immediate territories. We can gain pivotal allies in neighboring systems, I urged, and the room erupted with renewed energy as voices echoed every scenario possible. But there was a palpable weight pressing against my heart, an undeniable fear of history, the elucidating moment when my brother's ambition had spiraled out of control. We must remind one another of our purpose. Every battle lost risks not just lives, but the fabric of our very existence, I said, feeling the solemnity tether reality once more. As night fell upon Anuska, whispers lingered like the faithful remnants of dreams, doubt no longer threatening to drown the ambitions that had united us. The assembly continued their discussions late into the night, planning against atrocities yet unseen. Deep into the night, I wandered alone beneath the swirling constellations. The ethereal beauty of Anuska kissed my skin, a reminder that the path before us was filled with uncertainty, yet surrounded by infinite possibilities. The stars shimmered so close I could almost touch them, and in the glow, clarity illuminated the path within and without. Max, I whispered into the quiet night, I won't let your legacy shift into madness. I'll show that ambition can be a light instead of a shadow. Something deep and resonant sparked amid the darkness as I committed fully to this cause, to seize control of our destinies, reclaiming the light. As dawn crested once again over the horizon, a sudden urgency pulled me awake. The air thrummed with intense energy. Alarms rang through Anuska, cutting through the tranquility like a blade of urgency. Mobilize, they're here, a startled voice shouted. Gathered quickly, leaning into the fervor of the assembly, we prepared ourselves ready to wield our collective power against the storm that had finally arrived. The moment of reckoning loomed larger than life, a pulse roaring through my veins as we filed out, warriors of hope emerging to face the challenges ahead. The stars would remember our names, scribbled in the cosmic annals, every heartbeat of courage, every thread of unity intertwined, and every moment of defiance against the darkness we would soon confront in the final battle against chaos. The battlefield unfolded before us, a realm alight with tensions ready to erupt as we stood united against the vanguard fleet. Stars greeted us. A quiet serenity wove through our assembly, contrasted sharply with the chaotic clash that would inevitably unfold. The fog of war painted the atmosphere thick, palpable, and charged with anticipation. We gathered on the crest of the summit, a vantage point overlooking the field where alliances would collide. They're approaching rapidly, Kai informed, scanning the skies. Ahead, flickering shapes knitted the horizon, ships glimmering against the backdrop of the universe, a testimony to ambition unfrozen. Hold your ground, I commanded, my voice cutting through the anxiety that threatened to strangle us. We stand united. Remember, not only for ourselves, my voice resonated above the rumble, a binding call against the gathering storm, but for the souls intertwined in our destinies. The air quivered with mutual resolve as our allies took their places beside us, lives held together by the fragility of connection and purpose. Every heart summoned courage from the ground up, and as the vanguard loomed closer, the echoes of our promises swelled louder. Suddenly, a blinding flash erupted in the sky as the vanguard ships fired their initial salvo. The starlight shattered beneath the weight of ambition not aligned with purpose, a reminder of everything we fought against. Form defensive formations. I barked as Zara deftly coordinated signals among our crew. Shield our lines, we cannot waver. The silver fleece surged forward, dancing upon the currents of chaos, a manifestation of hope against the shadows. I fought against the chaos raging within. I refused to let fear suffocate the voice of reason. Amidst the clattering of voices calling for command, I steadied my breath, rallying against the fire ready to erupt. The battle raged, our coalition clashing against the might of the vanguard. Shattered shells of ships rained around us, debris spiraling like stardust caught in a tempest. I propelled the fleece through the tumult, each maneuver crafted with hope and intent as my crew engaged in the thrust of cooperation beyond the individual battles fought. Now, Zara's voice rang clear, cutting through the din of chaos as we activated our shields. The fleece glowed with an ethereal light, bolstering our defenses against the onslaught. With every thrust, we danced between survival and destruction, forging our connection through chaos, our unity giving us strength as we carved through the blades of the storm. But just as I felt the grip of success within reach, a powerful explosion erupted near by our lines, flickering with uncertainty. "Keep going," I shouted against the rising winds as a blinding light swelled across the expanse. "This battle is ours to win. We will not yield." But as the chaos intertwined, I saw it a shadow far more ominous looming behind the battlefield. It flickered amidst the mayhem, a stealth ship, delicately veiled by designs beyond our perceptions. My heart sank as realization dawned, dread colliding against my steeled resolve. "Torin, focus," I urged as he caught my eye. "Let's bring the fight to them." We swung the silver fleece around, diving into the heart of the turmoil, a renegade ghost darting amid the storm as we maneuvered toward the unknown. The presence lurked, flitting among the shadows, a progenitor of chaos. "They are here," I murmured under my breath, the chaos forming reminders of the brother's legacy, the ambition twisting into shadows I thought I had escaped. As we plunged into this pivotal moment, I urged my crew, focus, channel our hearts. We've already unearthed a new purpose. I felt the life force of our camaraderie lighting the path forward, fortifying the resolve of every heartbeat dancing against the encroaching figures. As the vanguard vessels swarmed around us, darkening our futures, we rose each moment ignited anew, and bonds forged through trials began to manifest in vibrant cascades shining brightly against despair. "We will uphold what is light," I proclaimed, channeling everything the legacy of light intertwined with the echoes of shadow. "We are more than this. We reclaim our destinies." The ship roared forward, twin beams of energy surging forth from the silver fleece, a launching of power ignited by all our hopes, all our desires unified against the chaos. And as we surged into the heart of the storm, I embraced the very essence of our being, the swirling memory of Max steering toward ambition, and I reclaimed it. Light would guide my choices as I dared to navigate each inhalation of possibility. Together, we carved pathways in the fire of battle, resilient against turmoil, humanity's call woven amid the expansive stars stretching forward. With every pulse of light, we stood united against an ambition once dark reborn through the fires of our resolve, scattering the very shadows which threatened to absorb us. This was our moment, a convergence, a celebration of truth against the chaotic forces that sought to consume us. And ultimately, this battle would herald our promise, a spark, ignited in unity against the encroaching void, against the shadow my brother had woven all too well. Together we would rise, united towards liberation, and carry the name of hope like a flame against the desolate night. A legacy celebrating the duality of shadows and light in the tapestry of our existence. The chaos of battle echoed around us, the voices of the coalition rallying together in a chorus of determination against the vanguard's relentless assault. The air crackled with tension as ships exploded and debris rained down, casting shadows over the vibrant landscape of Anuska that had quickly transformed into a battlefield. "Hold position, Silver Fleece," Kai's voice rang clear over the comms, his eyes fixed on the rapidly shifting battle formations before us. "We need to draw them in closer before we strike." I gripped the controls, the pulse of the ship resonating with the intensity of the moment. "Channel energy to the rear shields. We'll bait them," I commanded, glancing back at my crew, feeling the collective heartbeat of our resolve. "It's like a dance focus on countering their movements," Zara added, her fingers dancing among glowing screens, tracking enemy trajectories with surgical precision. "We've got to outmaneuver them, anticipate their patterns. They're powerful, yes, but predictable if we stay 2 steps ahead." And predictable they were. As I narrowly avoided the latest barrage hurtling toward us, I felt adrenaline course through my veins. Deploying countermeasures, let's give them something to chase. The ship surged forward, darting through the array of flashes and blasts the Silver Fleece, a comet among celestial bodies, vibrant and alive in the whirlpool of chaos. Just as I anticipated, the vanguard ship's formation broke as we feigned vulnerability. They descended after us, their energies coiling like serpents, hungry for a strike. And now, I shouted, driving the ship into a tight barrel roll, weaving through the dense field of debris. Activate the energy pulse. With a sudden explosion, the rear shields flared and charged back, blasting out an energy wave visible across the battlefield. Dazzling waves spread into the void, rippling outward as enemy optics were temporarily blinded by the brilliance, a tactical maneuver crafted out of instinct and impulsive bravery. "Got them. Enemy ships are disoriented," Torin confirmed, a fierceness igniting in his eyes as he monitored the readouts. "Let's sweep in for a strike while their formation is broken. Push forward." Fluid movements shaped our dance among the debris and chaos as the Silver Fleece sliced through the fray, sharp and agile, the perfect foil in this cometary ballet. We became one. Instincts honed from the fires of friendship and camaraderie transformed us from pilots into a harmony of collateral purpose, a living embodiment of defiance. "Focus fire on the flagship," Zara shouted as we neared, her determination anchoring the crew in synchronized strength. Dull hums of energy filled the air. We could feel the frenetic energy swirling around us, propelling our ship forward with a reckless ambition to disrupt the gathering storm. But as we honed in on the flagship, a sudden shadow loomed larger than life. A sleek, dark vessel emerged ominously, grafting itself into the very fabric of chaos, emerging from behind the melee. Before I could react, a voice crackled over the comms, cutting through the chaos, a voice I recognized all too well. "This isn't just combat, little sister," Max's voice lanced through the air, a cold shiver exposing old wounds. "This is destiny, and you are fighting against it." I felt a surge of rage and betrayal bubble up within me. "Max, you've turned this universe upside down with your insanity. You've traded purpose for ambition." I shot back, resolving myself amidst the heartbeat of impending doom. "I will not let your twisted vision consume those around me." The Vanguard flagship erupted with energy. The tumult around us swelled into a storm as the tactical maps surged with orange-red signals. Our chances grow perilously thin. I inhaled deeply, focusing on the threads of power whispering through the ship as we transformed chaos into clarity. Steering the Silver Fleece into a sudden dive below the arcs of fire, I whispered to my crew, "Keep your hearts strong. Together, we will shift fate's course." Rerouting power to weapon systems, Torin shouted, adrenaline electrifying his gaze as our energies converged, tuning to the ominous rhythm of the storm outside. Zara meticulously parsed through the signals of the battlefield, mapping trajectories as if navigating a living body. "Let's show them what unity can achieve," I yelled, a renewed fire pulsing within me. As the Silver Fleece rocketed back into the fray, we used the debris and explosions to obscure our approach, looming ghost, like amidst the chaos around us. We unleashed our firepower, beams of energy cutting through the darkness like luminescent stars, the flagship shuddering under the sudden assault. "Direct hit," Kai hollered, pumping his fist in excitement, but I could already see the futility tethered to this aggression. "Don't let your rage blind you, Kai." I whirled around, face taut with focus. "Every action has consequence. They might respond with twice the force. We need to be strategic," and they did respond. The flagship's cannon charged with energy, deadly intent whirling in the air. massive and foreboding as their returning fire surged toward us. A cataclysmic explosion cracked through the space, then dissipated with a maelstrom of twisting shadows and light. The ship lurched, the cockpit rattling violently as alarm bells rang through every corner. I fought against the instinct to buckle in fear, adrenaline sending shooting pains through my veins. Brace for impact, I shouted, but we were thrown about. Yes, impact zeroed, Zara exclaimed, quickly recovering from the shake as the ship's automated adjustments stabilized around us. We've redirected energy into the electromagnetic field. If we focus that energy, we can disrupt the flagship's systems entirely. You do it, I commanded, the undying rhythm of resolve coursing through my voice, igniting something feral within me as I bound life's threads together with purpose. We channel that energy into a pulse that will cut their systems entirely. If we disrupt their command, we will shift the momentum. They worked feverishly, my crew fortified by the thought of reclaiming what was lost. Their movements became second nature, every motion weaving us closer, like threads in a tangled tapestry that reached back into the starlit past. A moment stretched cold and charged, as the energy thrummed against my fingertips, the air becoming electric, volatile. Now, I bellowed, eyes locking onto the horizon as we fired. A scream echoed through the void as a cascade of blinding energy erupted from the silver fleece, weaving threads of gold through the chaos, striking the heart of the Vanguard flagship. The ship trembled as systems cascaded under the sheer force of the pulse, remnants of chaos giving way to the resonating hum of hope. Systems compromised, they're losing power. Torin's jubilant call rang clear through our comms, and a surge of triumph accelerated through me, emboldened by the strength of unity against the abyss. But as the energy stilled and the flagship began to spiral out of control, I felt the specter of my brother's influence linger. Max, I called into the void, the name an echo of dread mixed with lingering love. Can we rise beyond the shadows woven through ambition? And then, in a flash, something extraordinary occurred in the space around us. The Vanguard flagship trembled, and all at once the shadows exploded outward, tearing asunder the fabric of its wielder. A cosmic rift blossoming where ambition met despair. No, Max's voice screamed through the chaos, and for that fleeting moment, I glimpsed him amidst the chaos, a fragmented silhouette drowning beneath the waves of darkness as chosen destiny melded with consequence. Our eyes met. Max let go. I shouted, hope billowing against the tide of despair, each flicker of energy begging him to release himself from the bind of ambition. There's a different path. You can choose to be free, but then he was consumed, flames licking at the edges of his existence, a burning star collapsing in on itself under the weight of choices made. Flagship imploded, shadows dispersing in chaotic bursts, and the ethereal light encircled us, leaving a silence hanging thick in the air, an aftermath echoing through the galaxy. Max, I gasped upon the brink of morning, but the shadows were gone, replaced by a cascade of light illuminating the cosmos. The Vanguard fleet began to retreat, scattering before the overwhelming presence of our unity and purpose. Now's our chance. Let's press forward, Kai shouted, gripping the controls with newfound vigor, propelled by the momentum of victory amidst the kaleidoscope of chaos. As the remnants of the darkness sailed heavenward, I closed my eyes and felt the release of his influence, an echo finally free from the burdened destiny forged in ambition. Together we are stronger, I murmured, resolving to forge a new purpose from the very ashes of despair. Prepare for pursuit. We need to secure our position and communicate our victory. I rallied, rallying my crew onward as the silver fleece surged forward. Every heartbeat, every pulse radiated with newfound strength. A bond formed in light, ready to weave its next chapter among the stars. We soared through the remnants of engagement into the void, endless space spread before us, a testament to our victory, weaving memories and purpose together. The cosmos remained vast and unyielding, but we carried the promise forward. a revolution of change dawning among the stars. As we regained our trajectory for Anaska, I held tight to the presence of guiding intentions. We would not simply exist. We would thrive by what was forged in solidarity, navigating the universe with renewed purpose, anchored by our newfound truths that glimmered between the strands of destiny. And as the horizon glowed with the brilliance of new beginnings, the depths of the galaxy opened to us, eager for our next adventure, a tapestry unfurling anew among the cosmos, ready to weave our voices into the boundless expanse of existence. Together we would guide the oncoming nights, our stories inscribed across the starlit skies, echoing the legacy of ratio and defiance. Together, we would discover what it truly meant to soar. The aftermath of our battle against the Vanguard fleet reverberated throughout the cosmos like a cascading echo of hope. The remnants of those who had chased after shadows receded into the void, allowing our coalition to breathe once more. In the grand expanse of Anaska, the remnants of our struggle hung suspended in the air, tangible yet elusive. The residue of choices made in the name of unity illuminating the canvas of possibility before us. Gathering in the heart of the assembly once more, I stood alongside my loyal crew, Kai, Zara, and Torin. The wounds of battle had begun to heal, yet the reminders were etched upon our hearts. We had emerged not just victorious, but fortified, armed with intention and purpose that eclipsed ambition and ambition lost. The whole buzzed with anticipation as the leaders from the Astral Confederation and the Sentinels of Terra gathered. Their voices watered the roots of resurgence, echoing our triumph and binding destinies defined by shared resolve. Together, we shared tales of the battle that had unfolded, not as victors against adversaries, but as forgers of alliances capable of weathering future storms. But today, we stand not just as allies, I declared, my voice rising above the hum of conversation, rallying attention. Today, we emerge as custodians of the light, the collective will to guard the very essence of existence. A cheers erupted within the chamber, a chorus infused with the spirit of those who dared defy the darkness. The energy surged like waves upon the cosmic shores, our resolve igniting along the edges of uncertainty. We would not merely exist, we would embrace our duality, a tapestry sewed through ambition stilled to purpose. Following the celebration, our leaders turned serious, aware that our triumph had merely opened the doors to new horizons and challenges. The black shadows that had grasped my brother now drifted among the stars, seeking dominion. If we allowed ambition to return unchecked, we risked unraveling the very fabric we had woven through unity. We must understand the dynamics still shifting in the cosmos, Zara said, leaning forward, her determination establishing a gravity that held us together. The illusion of absolute power is ferocious. We must extend our networks, fortify our support. Then let us make our voices heard, Torin added, his expression fierce. Let's remind the universe that we stand for balance and prosperity, that our strength woven into unions can expunge darkness out of the expanse. As the discussions became fervent, a resolve unfurled. We resolved to send envoys across various systems, crafting negotiations that would permanently anchor the principles of cooperation and understanding into the very heart of the cosmos itself. But even in our hallowed moment, my mind drifted back to Max, the chaos that had shaped his choices and the lingering shadows his ambition had cast around the universe. "Do you think there's a way to redeem him?" I blurted out before I could quell the thought. The room paused, silent recognition filled the air, threads of complexity swirling in the minds of our allies. Could we ever wake him from ambition's grip? The question we must grapple with, Hera said thoughtfully, her gaze turning inward, is whether he perceives the plight of our choices. Ambition often creates its own barriers. If a soul is blinded by its own desires, then only they can choose to rise from that shadow. I believe he can change, I insisted, my determination blazing. Perhaps if we show him the strength of collective purpose, we could invite him into this alliance. Let's offer him one chance at redemption. As I spoke my plea, I could feel the gravity of the decision coiling around us. Some stirred with uncertainty, aware of the dangers blinking like distant stars against the abyss. Eventually, I saw sparkles of understanding emerge among the assembly, voices whispering together, filled with curiosity and trepidation. "Then let us dispatch a communicator to the vanguard," Kai proclaimed, emboldened by my words. "If we seek to guide the darkness toward light, we cannot shy from potentially salvaging what remains." And so, with rallying conviction, we committed to send out an invitation, a chance for my brother to embrace the unity, the warmth of light beyond ambition. Every pulse of hope layered upon another as we crafted our message, a simple note lit with sincerity. Days passed, ripples of expectation radiating through the assembly. We fortified our connections across the stars, forming alliances that transcended mere agreements, breathing life into a spirit of cooperation ripe for the cosmic journey ahead. But the void remained watchful. An ember of uncertainty flickered within me. What if Max, or what if those still tethered to ambition, would rise again, seeking to conquer? The memories of battles fought replayed like a haunting echo against the walls of my mind, the choices now woven into a tapestry of purpose, resonating beyond the turmoil once embedded. Weeks later, as we sat in eager anticipation gathered around the grand assembly hall, a signal crackled through the air. "Incoming transmission," the voice boomed, electrifying every nerve in that moment. The communicator projected an image. A flicker of shimmering darkness unraveled to unveil a silhouette. A gasp spread across the room. It was Max. "Greetings, siblings." His voice flowed through the air, distanced yet familiar. "I hear whispers of your strength. This coalition of light you've ignited. It tempts curiosity." In his eyes, I felt a swirl of emotions. Darkness wrestled against the last flickers of hope. "Max, we extend an invitation," I said, anchoring my voice against a backdrop of rising uncertainty. "Join us. Align your dreams with purpose. The universe needs balance, and together we can restore what was lost." He hesitated, the silence stretching uncomfortably as he weighed the stakes. "Does the light hold value beyond ambition?" His voice trembled, an echo of the past yet drenched in primordial vulnerability. "Can I trust it?" "There is strength in unity." Kai spoke boldly, the light of authority glowing in his eyes. "Aligning with us means shaping a legacy that transcends ambition. It nourishes purpose and nurtures the universe." I dared to dream, yet the echoes of ambition brushed against darkness for too long. Max replied slowly, his gaze shifting as if wrestling with demons. "I am no longer the dreamer I once was, but perhaps there is still light to be found." "Let that be the shift," I implored, my heart racing against the possibility that presented itself. "Join us and forge a new path, not just for yourself, but for every soul caught in the shadows. Together we will light the way." An ember shimmered in his eyes, flickering at the edges of vulnerability, and for a moment I felt the shard of our connection binding again, an unbroken thread forged in legacy. The tension hung thick, trembling like stars waiting to explode. "I accept," he finally said, the words ever so softly spilling out, yet resonating louder than the chorus of the universe. "I choose to seek redemption." A wave of relief washed over the assembly, echoing through the hearts gathered in the chamber. Voices rose in celebration, kindling hope anew. Yet within me I felt another depth, a dawning realization illuminating my perceptions. Redemption would not erase his past. It would forge something entirely new, a testament bound in integrity, a journey earned through understanding. With Max's embrace of unity, I felt something blossom between us yet again, a chance buried deep in the hopes of those interwoven among the stars, a brilliant mosaic that told deeper narratives of both light and shadow. To change the course of destiny, all it needed was courage and a willingness to confront those ambitions that tethered to darkness. Our coalition now expanded. Together, we would craft the changes in the cosmos beyond thought and perception. Through struggles shared, we would rise together, let dreams untether ambitions imbued with purpose. As we began to weave our future, I sensed the shimmering vastness of the universe respond. Like a silent promise shimmering overhead, the stars crackled to life against the endless void. We would embrace every dream tethered to humanity and redefine our narrative as guardians of that light, a collective promise illuminating horizons stretching toward infinity. And as the stars bore witness to our evolution, we would fortify our bond, weaving new tales that embodied the very essence of coexistence. A narrative penned within the starlit skies, rooted in purpose as we journeyed forth into the cosmos, ready to face every unknown, united against the shadows that sought to unravel our brilliance. In that moment, we knew we were not merely surviving. We were transforming, making choices resonant in every heartbeat that echoed among the stars. Hope had returned, radiant and reborn, a legacy ready to shine brightly upon the canvas of the universe for ages to come.